Dream Destiny destinations. Explore the world beyond borders. Discover history, nature, and unforgettable journeys.
There are places on our planet that remain wrapped in mystery, places where the world's gaze rarely lingers and whose stories are often left untold. North Korea is one such place, a nation that stands apart, both literally and figuratively, from much of the world. It's often seen as a headline, not a home, its silence filled by speculation and politics. The stories we hear are filtered through distant lenses, leaving much of daily life in the shadows. Yet beneath the surface lies immense natural beauty, a resilient history, and a complex society. Rolling hills, ancient temples, and vibrant traditions persist quietly, away from the world's spotlight. To understand North Korea, we must look beyond the narrow lens of military parades and stern pronouncements. There is more here than the images of power and control that so often define it. The real story is found in the daily lives of its people, farmers in quiet valleys, tending their crops with generations of knowledge, and families sharing simple meals in humble homes. Children playing in city parks, their laughter echoing through the streets, remind us that life here is not so different from anywhere else. And the changing seasons across its mountains paint the land with colors and moods, from the blossoms of spring to the snows of winter, marking the passage of time in a place often seen as frozen in history. Our journey today is one of observation, seeking to see North Korea as a place, not just a political puzzle. We aim to witness the rhythms of daily life, the markets, the neighborhoods, and the quiet moments that rarely make the news. We'll explore its geography, history, and way of life, without expecting simple answers. Each layer reveals new questions, and every answer leads to deeper understanding. Decades of isolation have shaped a nation both fascinating and challenging to understand. The border, fences, and mountains have not only kept others out, but have also preserved unique ways of living and thinking. The challenge is to separate fact from fiction, reality from rhetoric. In a world of competing narratives, truth is often elusive, and understanding requires patience. North Korea's path has been distinct, shaped by its separation from global currents. Its history is marked by division, resilience, and a constant negotiation with the outside world. This journey asks us to be patient and thoughtful, recognizing that no single narrative can capture the full truth of a nation of millions. Each face in the crowd has a story, each moment, a meaning. Let's begin with an open mind, venturing respectfully into this enigmatic land. Curiosity and empathy will be our guides. We start with its place on the map, a geography that has shaped its destiny. Mountains, rivers, and borders have all played their part in the story of this land. Beyond the headlines, there's a tapestry of life waiting to be seen. The ordinary moments, the quiet gestures, and the enduring spirit of its people. Let's take our first step into North Korea's story, together, ready to listen, to learn, and to look beyond the silence. To truly understand North Korea, we must look beyond the headlines and examine its roots, its land, its people, and its place in the world. We must first know where it lies, nestled in East Asia, occupying a strategic position on the Korean peninsula, officially known as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, or DPRK. It claims the northern half of the peninsula, a region marked by both beauty and tension. To the north, it shares borders with two powerful neighbors, China and Russia, connected by rivers and rugged terrain. To the south, it is separated from South Korea by the infamous demilitarized zone, a heavily fortified strip that stands as a symbol of decades-long division and unresolved conflict. North Korea's geography has not only shaped its borders but also its history, its alliances, and its sense of isolation. The peninsula is flanked by the Yellow Sea to the west and the Sea of Japan to the east, giving North Korea vital, though limited, maritime access and shaping its economic and military strategies. Home to around 26 million people, North Korea's population is remarkably homogeneous, united by a deep-rooted Korean heritage and a shared language, culture, and traditions. Despite decades of separation, North and South Koreans remain bound by common ancestry and a painful, intertwined history that continues to shape their identities. North Korea's identity is inseparable from its geography and its neighbors, placing it at the crossroads of major powers and global interests. Its rugged mountains and fertile plains have fostered a spirit of resilience, self-reliance, and a strong connection to the land that sustains its people. This deep connection is evident in every aspect of North Korean life, reflected in the very geography that defines the nation's character and destiny. The Korean peninsula is called the land of morning calm, evoking misty mountains and serene landscapes. In North Korea, about 80% of the land is mountainous, shaping both its beauty and its challenges. Mount Paektu, on the border with China, is a sacred volcano, with Heaven Lake at its summit, a symbol of national pride and the mythical birthplace of the Korean people. The mountain's image is everywhere, reinforcing identity and revolutionary spirit. The East Coast steep ranges create dramatic coastlines, while the western plains support agriculture in cities like Pyongyang. This varied landscape, from sacred peaks to humble valleys, sets the stage for North Korea's history and daily life. The land's contrasts mirror the nation's own complexities. Geography here is destiny, shaping both culture and conflict. Modern North Korea cannot be understood without first examining the profound impact of the Korean War, a conflict that continues to shape the nation's identity and worldview to this day. From 1950 to 1953, the Korean peninsula was plunged into chaos and devastation. Cities were reduced to rubble, millions of lives were lost or forever changed, and countless families were torn apart, many never to be reunited. The scars of this conflict are still visible in the memories of those who survived. The war ended not with a peace treaty, but with an armistice, leaving North and South Korea technically still at war. This unresolved status has fueled decades of tension and mistrust between the two nations. The Demilitarized Zone, or DMZ, stands as a stark and heavily fortified symbol of this division, a constant reminder of the unresolved conflict and the fragile peace that persists on the peninsula. The legacy of the war deeply influences North Korea's ideology, foreign policy, and society. It has fostered a siege mentality, a sense of perpetual threat, and an unwavering emphasis on military strength and self-reliance. The government frames the war as a heroic struggle against foreign aggression, using this narrative to unite the population and justify its policies. This story is central to the nation's identity and is reinforced through education, media, and public events. Monuments, statues, and national holidays commemorate this history, reinforcing unity, loyalty, and the idea of collective sacrifice for the nation's survival. The pain of separated families and the collective memory of destruction have forged a fiercely proud and nationalistic society where the past is never far from the present. This enduring conflict is the very foundation of North Korea's political system, shaping its leadership, institutions, and the daily lives of its people. To truly understand North Korea, its actions, its fears, and its ambitions, one must first understand the lasting legacy of the Korean War. North Korea's political system is highly centralized, led by the Workers' Party and the Kim family dynasty. The guiding ideology, Juche, emphasizes self-reliance, political independence, economic self-sufficiency, and military strength. Power is concentrated in the supreme leader, seen as a paternal figure guiding the nation. Daily life is organized and regulated, with citizens participating in state-run organizations and collective projects. The state-controlled media presents unity and achievement, while outside reports highlight hardship and repression. Reality for most lies somewhere between these extremes, a life shaped by both collective purpose and individual struggle. This system is both a source of stability and a limitation on personal freedom. North Korea's economy is one of the world's most centrally planned and isolated. The collapse of the Soviet Union brought severe hardship, but informal markets, Jangmadang, have since emerged, allowing limited private trade. Pyongyang, the capital, is the nation's showcase-wide boulevards, grand monuments, and modern high-rises for the elite. Outside the capital, infrastructure is basic, with unpaved roads and unreliable electricity. International sanctions further restrict trade and development, deepening the divide between city and countryside. The economy is a complex mix of state control, grassroots markets, and external pressures. Pyongyang projects an image of progress, but daily life elsewhere remains challenging. The contrast between image and reality is stark. Visiting North Korea is possible, but tightly controlled. Tourists are always accompanied by official guides and follow a strict itinerary. Photography and interactions are limited, and respect for the country's leaders is mandatory. The experience is carefully curated, raising ethical questions about tourism's impact. Some see value in person-to-person engagement while others worry about supporting the regime. Tours include Pyongyang's monuments, the DMZ, and sometimes natural sites, like Mount Paektu or Myeonghyang-san. Standing at the DMZ, the reality of division becomes tangible. Beyond politics, glimpses of natural beauty and cultural heritage offer a different perspective. These moments reveal a quieter, more human side of the country. Even within limits, travel provides rare insight into North Korea's world. Our journey through North Korea reveals a country far more complex than headlines suggest. It's a land of contrasts, modern Pyongyang and rural villages, unity and hardship, pride and restriction. The principle of self-reliance has fostered national unity, but at a cost to individual liberty and economic growth. Grassroots markets hint at slow change within a rigid system. To understand North Korea is to accept its contradictions and see beyond caricatures. It's a place of tension and beauty, of ordinary people living extraordinary lives. True understanding requires patience, respect, and a willingness to see all sides. The journey to understanding is ongoing, shaped by new voices and perspectives. Our planet is a mosaic of cultures and histories, each with lessons to offer. Exploring North Korea reminds us that every nation holds stories of resilience and diversity. The spirit of exploration is about discovering new perspectives, not just new places. As we conclude this journey, the world remains full of stories waiting to be heard. Where should we go next? Which country fascinates you? Share your suggestions and let's continue our quest to understand the world together. The next chapter of discovery is yours to help write.
Thank you for traveling with Dream Destiny Destinations. Subscribe and let the next adventure begin. See you in the next journey.